I've went on record saying many times, Frieren is the best anime that I've seen in recent years. It's my favorite anime. And while season 2 was really good, it is really hard to top the perfection that is season 1. Overall, Frieren is just an amazing experience. And while I would love to talk about all the facets of it, I really wanted to focus on the myth making that it does better than anything else out there. Thank you for checking out Black Nerd Problems. My name is William, and today we are breaking down the goddess Frieren. What makes Frieren so unique is it's part hero's journey, it's part slice of life, but also it is an overpowered protagonist story. And we don't really think about it that way until at least late in the season. Frieren is a mage that's been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. When you think about overpowered protagonists, you think about One Punch Man, or Mob Psycho, or maybe most recently Solo Leveling. But the big difference between those stories and Frieren's story is in those stories, most of the time we got to watch the progress of those heroes. We watched them become overpowered, and they usually became overpowered in an environment or a storytelling environment where not everyone knew about them. I'll take Solo Leveling, and with Jin Woo, we get to see his rise from basically nobody up until the point where he's the strongest hero out there. You know how powerful he is by seeing his deeds, by seeing what he does. Frieren is different because most of her legend happened 80 years ago when they defeated the Demon King. So some of those are the stories. Most of those people aren't alive anymore, and the ones that do remember her are far-flung different parts of the world. So Frieren comes into this having a legend already established for herself, but she's more myth than anything. So with Frieren's power, it's less about people being amazed at what Frieren can do, and it's more about people even coming to grips that Frieren exists in the first place. The storytelling environment does a lot of work with this because most of the first season, Frieren kind of avoids combat, avoids showing us how strong she is for a variety of reasons. One of the first big fights that we see in Frieren is her with Fern when they encounter Quall. Now, it's been 80 years. So when Frieren unseals Quall, a lot has changed. That fight is not about Frieren showing her power and her dominance. That is more about she defeats Quall with science. So over 80 years, it isn't about Frieren being more powerful than Quall when her and Fern defeat him. It's more about the fact that magic is caught up. Then there comes Aura the Guillotine arc. Now this is the closest so far early in the season that we get to see Frieren's power, sort of. This is the arc where we get some fantastic myth making though. Lumiere, the demon that controls this town, he has this fight with Fern. And he realizes that Fern uses the same spell and the same technique that Frieren did against him 80 years ago. The demons actually referring to Frieren as Frieren the Slayer, and she's killed more demons than anyone in known history. And this is significant. We have seen Frieren be this nurturing mentor, this aloof kind of person, and she's obviously the protagonist of this story. We feel that there's good in Frieren. She's going out on this noble quest. But then we get this demon perspective in which she's the villain. She's the one that has terrorized them. You know, it's kind of like this I Am Legend kind of thing going on there. And it's just a fascinating duality because the demons have a lot of agency. They take up a lot of real estate in their talks, in their inner monologues and thoughts in this story. So it gives a genuine duality to how Frieren is perceived by this world. When Frieren actually faces off against Aura the Guillotine in the field against all her now undead soldiers, it isn't really a fight about prowess. It's not about her showing these magical spells and defeating her in a show of power. It is more about this lesson of mana suppression and mana capacity and how she deceives demons. And it's a battle of wills, essentially, that she wins. She doesn't even have to fight directly, but she still manages to take down Aura the Guillotine. Like I said before, there are these big moments that have like some battle where she subverts, but there's a lot of moments in between where she's visiting villages. People remember her. They remember how grand she was, remember her being part of the heroes party. So we still have a lot of buildup without seeing her actually flex her muscle until we get to the Mage's exams. I could go on forever about the Mage's exams, but the reality is Frieren is forced into this situation where something familiar, where she's been a mentor to people this whole time we've been watching her. So now she's got two new people that she kind of has to mentor during this part of the exam as well when they're trying to catch this bird. But with her being a mentor in a similar situation that we've seen her in, we think, okay, she's going to defer, she's going to let her people shine. But it throws us for a loop because now it actually puts her in a direct conflict with another very powerful mage. And so it's the first real test of seeing Frieren as a combatant actually have to flex her muscle and actually have to try. And it turns out she didn't have to try that hard. Denkin knows who Frieren is. He's heard of her. Everyone that is a mage knows that she was a powerful mage at some point. But again, Frieren's been out of the world largely for 80 plus years. No one's seen her. Some people are just surprised that she's still alive. And so you can't really gauge how powerful a person is in the present when no one's really seen her do much for the last 80 years. Especially so for Denkin, he's like, I'm powerful, I got this. But he does realize pretty quickly in their battle, okay, we're just trading blow for blow here. She probably has a deeper mana pool than I do. So I'm gonna have to end this quickly, and says as much when he tries to end the fight. Poor Denkin, poor Denkin. It's not even close. And Frieren takes him down without too much of breaking a sweat. But one of the things I actually want to accent in this particular moment in this scene is the brutality of Frieren. Again, we've seen her being this loving, doting mentor. She's aloof, she sleeps in late, she acts like a baby most of the time. Frieren's brutal, and she's brutal. And we saw it obviously with Aura the Guillotine when she made Aura, do the thing. But that was monsters and demons. This is against fellow mages. And I love how this plays into that duality of Frieren the Slayer, right? Obviously we saw that from the demon's perspective, but we're shown in any situation, she has the experience and the will to actually make these kind of brutal decisions. So there probably isn't anywhere for her to go after that, right? Well, there's part 2 of the Mage's exam, and this is where it all comes to a head. They enter the king's tomb, which is just this elaborate labyrinth that they have to get through. It's got traps, it's got monsters, it's got demons in there, and all they have to do is get to the bottom. Frieren and Fern are traveling together. It's been fairly uneventful, but we see other parties going through the king's tomb as well. And then there's a party that encounters replicas. Everyone that has entered the king's tomb, it's a perfect replica. It takes their memories, it takes their fighting ability, it takes their personalities, all those things, and just makes them into the best killing versions of themselves. So of course, when we see the first replicas, you gotta be thinking, shit, there's probably a Frieren replica in here somewhere. And so finally, Frieren and Fern catch up to a lot of the other parties, and they're at the last door, and the final boss of this dungeon is Frieren. I love how Frieren is giddy about facing a replica of herself. She even says something of the nature like, now this is getting interesting, right? And so everyone else is terrified. We've seen the destructive power and the brutality of Frieren up to this point. So no one wants any parts of this replica. But now this is this new challenge, and Frieren, something she probably has not encountered before. How Frieren kind of takes this preemptive victory lap, like, yeah, she knows she a bad bitch, right? Like, oh yeah, I can be terrifying. It's very fun to watch Frieren just kind of like very matter-of-factly know that she's the baddest on the planet. And while Frieren is the star of the show, the key to this battle and the key to this story and this myth making is Fern. Everywhere we've went, Fern has been regaled as this mage with the amazing potential. Everyone that has encountered her has seen that she is this up and coming, and she could be one of the strongest mages out there. So of course, this sets up this perfect moment of student overcoming the master, right? Story is old as time. But there's an awesome clue during the fight that kind of tips us off to what's gonna happen here. We have these flashbacks during the fight about them planning how they're gonna attack this Frieren replicant. And there's this moment where Frieren really instills this confidence in Fern and saying, hey, if anyone can do this, you can do this. Like, we're in there together, but whatever strategy you want to go with, I trust you because I think you can do this, and I've underestimated you this whole time. This is something you're capable of doing. That's what the characters are saying, but visually, is telling a whole different story. Look, I am not a film major, all right? I'm not gonna be able to break down things like this to some granular degree, but I can tell you about composition. And look at this image. You have a distance between Frieren and Fern, and you also have Frieren being above Fern, right? This is supposed to be telling us how Fern is ready to take this step. Visually, it's telling us there is still a gap between those two, and this shows up in the fight. Of course, Frieren is supposed to be providing this opening so that Fern can provide the killing blow. And Fern gets the opportunity, and she provides a hell of a blow. It ain't a killing blow, though. She encounters something she cannot fathom, something she can't comprehend that the replica does. It puts us in the mind of when Gojo killed Haname, right? Like this overpowering aura and force and thing that cannot be comprehended by Fern. She is getting pinned through the wall, which then allows the real opening for Frieren to take out the replicant. It's just a brilliant bit of storytelling of showing us the power of Frieren, but also showing us the gap between her and Fern. Again, it's about perspective. It's about how other characters relate to Frieren. And even Fern, who's been shown to be unflappable and devastating in this amazing mage, what everyone considers is going to be one of the best ever, she still isn't on Frieren's level. Can we take a moment to appreciate this zoom in? This has to be one of the best zoom ins in anime history. Just the absolute chaos and determination and strength of will that comes from this, it just gives me chills. I can watch it 20 times on loop. One line I love at the end of this fight is when Frieren says, "Good job to Fern. She hasn't had to use that spell in 80 years. So 80 years is a very specific amount of time. It benchmarks when the Demon King was killed by the Heroes Party. So is this a spell that she used during that fight? Very possible. But the other thing is I love the ambiguity of this because Frieren has talked about her and her replicant pretty interchangeably. So when she says she hasn't used a spell like that in 80 years, is she referring to the spell she used to kill the replicant? Or is she referring to the spell or whatever the replicant used to almost defeat Fern, right? It could be either way. And I love how there's an ambiguity to this, where it's either the replicant or Frieren herself. It's just awesome, awesome storytelling, awesome writing all the way around. Of course, there are a lot more moments in season 2 that really do capitalize on this myth making, but nothing does it like season 1. Frieren's a badass. She's been a badass for centuries, and hopefully we get to see more of her being a badass when season 3 drops, whenever that is. Please God, let it be soon. Thank you for tuning into this Frieren breakdown. Again, my name is William for Black Nerd Problems. We'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you again for tuning in to Black Nerd Problems. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. We are really pushing. This new website is being revamped. We're proud of it. Go check us out. See you on the next one.